Hey folks, this is Vince with Ads Gaming Addiction, and today we're going to quickly check out Medieval Dynasty. This is a game that you can find on Steam's Early Access program for about $30. I stress early access, that means the game is still under development, and as such, everything that you're about to see here is subject to change. So I've been playing this game for roughly 19 hours now, and I'm, for the most part, enjoying my experience. This is an open-world medieval survival game where you were an 18-year-old, your family, you were all happy in this little area, and then war hit, everyone died except for you, you got out of there, you sought out your uncle in a different land altogether, and you arrived to find out that he's dead. So now it's up to you to, in this map, in this area, to create a new life for yourself. And it's fairly interesting. If you've ever played the game Kingdom Come, then you'll be somewhat okay going into this. Or maybe even Skyrim. Skyrim doesn't have as many survival elements as this game does. But it's like Kingdom Come in the sense that your character is a nobody, he has no skills whatsoever, and then as you continue doing things, you'll level up your skills. So for example, chopping down trees, or hunting game, or building things, various things that you do in the environment, talking to people, doing quests, all of those things will level up various skills. And then there is a small skill tree that you'll be able to sort of work your way up and take new skills. Now, that skill tree is a work in progress. Some of those skills are, they even say work in progress, not final, stuff like that. So some of that stuff is a bit meh. There's also a technology aspect to the game, meaning that the more that you do something, the higher your technology skills get, your technology levels get to the point where you can unlock new things, but in order to unlock them, you have to pay money. So, yeah, you have to pay money to unlock these various recipes that you can then use to craft things. So, long story short, grind out various tasks, level up your skills, level up your technology, then using the money that you're earning, unlock these recipes, and then you can craft those things, hopefully, assuming you found the materials in the environment to do so. That's the general progression of the game. Now, there is marriage, so you can talk to NPCs, and, you can do quests for them, you can talk to women, and you can't choose your gender, it's your male, 18-year-old male, and you can talk to women, and you can, sort of try and flatter them and try and marry them. You can even start your own city, or small settlement if you wish. You can construct buildings, and you can invite people to move into that settlement. So as long as they've got housing and food and all that, they'll stay, and you can assign them jobs. So yeah, all of that is really, really cool on the surface. It's just once you start diving into it, you realize that there's a lot of things that don't make sense yet or aren't implemented, and those are the things I sort of want to touch on briefly. For example, animals will sometimes, like, I'll be hunting, and I'll throw a spear and impale a creature, but then he runs off, and then I go chase it, and then the creature despawns, and my spear is just hanging there midair. It happens sometimes. Not all the time, but it happens. It's frustrating. Also, your quests can sometimes be bugged. Like, I took a quest, deliver 3 meat to this woman, and I did, and I never got the reward for it. The quest was stuck in some kind of infinite loop, and I couldn't complete the quest. And if you don't complete the quest by the end of the season, then you lose reputation. There's a global reputation system, and increasing your reputation allows you to construct more buildings in your settlement. So you want to level that up when you can. There is a main quest line, so by doing that main quest line, you'll get more influence easily, more reputation easily, and level that up to build more structures. But anywho, speaking of seasons, there are 3 days in a season. So there's all 4 seasons. Different things grow during different seasons. Like, you won't find St. John's wort or other things like berries in the winter, but you'll find ripe berries in the summer, unripe berries in the spring, various things like that. Mushrooms in the autumn season. So you'll have to, depending on the season, adjust your strategy accordingly for food. Winter, obviously, nothing grows, so hunting is going to be your primarily food source unless you've, found another way to do it or you've stocked up for the winter. Getting back to things I didn't like, there's a bit of RNG dialogue going on in the sense that whenever you talk to someone to raise their opinion of you, you have a choice of 2 options usually, and you never know how they're going to respond. Every character has a different response. So this exact response that you've used for someone else will not work on this person, and so on. Every person that you meet has an age and all that, and skills and different things. So if you bring someone to your town, you'll see they have a level 3 in this, level 4 in that, hunting, blah, blah, blah. But anyway, getting back to RNG dialogue, it's RNG. You don't know what character is going to accept what dialogue choices, and that can be frustrating. And then there's a separate dialogue tree for romance. So if you want to actually woo a woman, you have to, hey, beautiful lady, is the common thing you have to click on. It's so corny. Hey, beautiful lady. Hey, and then once you click on that, you'll be given 2 dialogue options, one of which may work, another one may not, or one will give 0. But again, you don't know just going into it. It's just RNG. It's bleh. That's one thing I disliked about that whole thing. One thing you'll find is that vendors sell a lot of different things, and there's no guide to this. So, not unless you look online. So if you're looking for something specific, you have to walk all over creation to find it. But again, thematically, there was no internet or Google back in the medieval era. So that I'm fine with. I'm just pointing that out. There is no like in-game, database for you to look at. A lot of that is just you have to find it. The music can be a little repetitive, and there's one track that just stops suddenly, like, done. Like, I'm like, wow, no fade out, nothing. It just stops. So the music in the background, that could use a little work. There's also no manual storage boxes. Like in Skyrim and Fallout, you could, well, maybe not Skyrim, but in Fallout, you can craft storage boxes and put them down and store stuff in them. Well, in this game, you can't. Instead, you construct buildings, and they have their own storage chest, but once they're full, they're full. So there's a limit there. I'm a hoarder, so I quickly ran out of space very quickly. I had too much meat, too much tools, too much everything, and I just had to sell it. Also, there's no penalty for freezing water. Like, I was in the winter, and yes, it gets cold. Your character has a temperature like in the long dark, but it's nowhere near as drastic. I was in water, just stepping in it, and there was no effect to my temperature. So it seems like there was no problem with just standing in water. The temperature aspect of this game hasn't been fully fleshed out yet. So those are like the minor gripes that I have with the game right now. I'm sure there's a couple of other that I'm missing, but I say those things not to discourage you from buying it, because this game is very fun to play. Again, I'm 19 hours into it. I generally don't play a game for that long. I've been streaming it almost every night on my channel, and it's a lot of fun. It's addicting. I love the idea of just survival elements. I going out, doing things. Figuring stuff out can be a chore, especially trying to assign people. Why aren't they working? What tool do they need? Where do I need to put this food? And what I may do is create like a top 10 video, top 10 quick tips, following the publishing of this review, just to maybe sort of help you out a little bit if you're new to the game and need some help. But yeah, Medieval Dynasty is a pretty cool game for what it is so far. The in-game main menu says it's in alpha right now, so there's plenty of more content to come, I'm hoping. But if you've played games like Kingdom Come, then I think you'll like this one too. Just be warned that Kingdom Come has a larger map, larger scope. This is more confined. You've got a smaller map, less number of cities, less number of people. So if you like the Kingdom Come element to it, like start as nobody, work your way up, but you wanted something smaller and simpler, somewhat simpler, then check this game out. All right. So there you go. That was Medieval Dynasty. Gets a recommend from me so far. Again, $30 on Steam's early access program. If you guys haven't already, subscribe to me on Twitch and YouTube. That way you can stay up to date with any new content I'm going to publish. This is Vince. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.